Good morning. This lovely, nice, cold Melbourne something day. Not quite winter, not quite summer, not quite anything actually. But it's quite brisk this morning. Hey Leo, morning, how you doing? Thanks for joining. My coffee, it's not quite as hot as I'd like. It's been sitting there getting cold. It's still good. Morning coffee. Just gonna wait a few. Good morning, Mindfully Retro. It's probably evening for you. Gonna wait a few minutes, let some people stop by. Hope everyone had a great day today. Yesterday. Waikiki Radio. Hello. Good morning. Hope you all can't hear my fan on my computer. Watching you and Watts. Is David streaming? Hey Death Shaker, how you doing? Oh, is Dave online? Or are you just watching a video of his? Doing the double stream too. Dave streaming! Oh, let me check this out. Hang on. Maybe I should push my stream if Dave's streaming. What time did you start streaming? Oh, cool. This might be too loud. I don't know if I can stream and watch a stream at the same time. Wicked. Any idea how long it's been going for? No, I don't want people to jump ship. No. Oh, Dave, you can hear the fan? Oh, yeah, I need to move my computer further away, if I can. So what do we think? Do we want to postpone this stream so Dave can do his? I'm quite happy to do that. It's not playing, I can't get it. It's just stalled on the screen. I'm hitting play, and there's just a picture of a spreadsheet and him looking blankly at me, but he's not moving. He's been going for an hour? Okay. Yeah, I'd put a picture of Dave's stream in mine if I could, but I can't even get... I should write to him. Hang on. Hey, Dave, didn't know you were streaming this AM. Happy to postpone mine. Can't even spell. Wow, I better not write that. Postpone mine. Oh boy, I can't even spell happy. Or Dave. Okay. Yeah, that's the, but you announce it. It's only fair either way. I wouldn't be able to join later. Julian's watching Dave's stream. Wow, that's huge. I assume Dave knows that, right? Yeah, I still feel bad though. I mean, it's tough trying to find a time for all of us to do streams. So, hey Trent. Good afternoon to you. Wow, lots of people on here. Hey Chris, Colin, Beargun42, 83, Electron Ash, how you doing? Oh, there's David. He's on my stream now, bloody hell. Oh god, this is... Wow, it's like, was it Ghostbusters? Where you don't cross the streams. Don't cross the streams. Yeah, I really don't want to rain on David's parade. I understand that some of you might not be able to be around later. Hello from across the ditch. Hey, Greg. Yeah. No, I don't want him to feel guilty. It's okay. You know what? Mine's going to be going for a while. So because I've got a lot to do today, and we're gonna nail this today. We're going to finish this board off, and I'm actually going to upload the Gerbers and order. Can I actually do that, David? Yeah, I can. Take your, can I spell, time will be here for a bit, making a mess. Cool. Background noise. Oh, it's a fan. Yeah, can you? It's because I'm trying to watch his stream while I'm. Hang on, let me. I gotta shut that down. That's not good. That's not working. And I've got 2 webcams on today. I need to. Let me see if I can turn my gain down. Hang on. My voice might get a bit softer, folks, but maybe my fan. If I push my computer any further away, it's gonna fall off the desk. Hang on. Oh, I hope that's a little bit better. Wow, I can't believe I'm chatting to David in my chat, and he's reading it in my chat from his stream. That's so Inception. That's really cool. Okay, I'm going to kind of get started talking. I really hope that fan either slows down or I'm going to need one more attempt to push it further away. Okay, it's seriously sitting half off the corner of my desk. This is weird. I've got 2 webcams, by the way, so it looks like I'm standing in front of a desk here, but it's not, because like my hands, I haven't even touched the desk yet. Now I'm touching the desk, but I've got a webcam here. So it looks like the desk is cutting me in half. No difference after I moved it. Oh no. Oh, hang on. I might be able to fix that. Wait. Oh, I know what it might be. How's that, everyone? It might have been picking up the noise. Good on me. What did I do? Did I win something? It might have been picking up, it might have been using the actual microphone off my computer instead of off my screen. And now there's an aeroplane and a helicopter above. Cool. Okay. So, way better. Thank you. Awesome. I'm so glad. Yes, I've got a webcam set up here, and I've got a few, because I want to, like, part of the finishing the design on this board. Well, what happened? Yes. Awesome. Quiet. Can you hear me okay though? Am I loud enough? I can turn that up a little bit, just in case. Yeah, I do everything on a MacBook Pro, and it's, when you're streaming and I've got 2 screens running, boy does it kick the fans in. Typical Apple, they just throttle everything. Oh, Rob, no! You can always watch it later. I'm looking forward to watching Dave's afterwards. I love watching people stream stuff on a spreadsheet. It's awesome. Sorry, bad dig. But yeah, don't worry if you can't stick around. Hi everyone who I've missed on the way down. Bug Rats. Julian. Hello, Julian. Thanks for joining. Woo! Dave says keep streaming. Yeah, I will. I'm going to be here for a little while. And thanks for letting me know. Cool. Wow, lots of people here. Awesome. So, firstly, I just want to say a quick thanks to anyone that checked out my video yesterday. It was a really tough one for me to put out there. Quite humbled by the amazing response in the chat, in the comments, and just the level of openness and genuineness from everyone. Really, really thank you. It's really uplifted me and made me want to push through, which I'm going to do, and I'm going to finish this board for no other reason at worst than I'll have one and I'll have done it, and I'll have that as a should be writing some Swift code, but here I am. Oh, being here is way better than writing Swift code. Swift's okay. It's okay. It's good. I don't mind it. Prefer C. I'm a C# guy. Really? Personal jinx, Dave. So, anyway, thank you for those that checked out my video. If you haven't seen the video, yeah, don't. Or watch it, either way. It's just about my struggle with fear of failing and procrastination, which as a maker is a really bad thing to struggle with. So, let's get on to this. I wanted to finish the board off, and for the board to actually be useful, really, it needs to be breadboard compatible. Very hard to work with a development board that isn't breadboard compatible. So my first challenge was, as you can see, so this is a WeMOS Lowland 32. Oh, gotta make sure I can get it in the camera. I'm sorry if this camera goes in and out of focus a bit. The drivers on the Mac are just terrible. So hopefully this is working okay and you can see it okay. So that's the WeMOS chip, and as you can see, if I look at the ESP32 here, I'll take one out. That's the ESP32 module. So they're pretty large. They're actually the same module, although it looks a bit deceiving. Oh, and I just had a evil thing pop up on me. Whoops. So the challenge is I need to make the breadboard wide enough. So I need to make the board wide enough that I can actually fit this on and be able to solder it onto the pads, but not so wide that the actual pin headers doesn't fit on a breadboard. And fitting on a breadboard is not really a problem. The issue is leaving space on the sides to be able to put pins in. So this is as far as you can really go, which is the Lowland 32. So I had to make sure that my board was redesigned to fit this width. Definitely one of my biggest problems with the project. Ash. Thanks, Electron Ash. Yeah, I think we all suffer from it, even just in our day-to-day lives of things we need to do. But it's it doubles down when you're also trying to create content for people to watch and hopefully enjoy. There's that extra level of pressure of feeling like you're not just letting yourself down, but you're letting other people down, which I guess what I was struggling with. Anyway, not that I don't want to talk about it. I'm absolutely happy to talk about it, clearly, because I posted a video for the world to see about it, my failings. But I really want to stay focused on this, because there's a lot to do today, and I absolutely am going to nail it and get it done today. Breadboard compatible as in one free road per side. Correct. Well, one free road per side is the ideal, because not everyone wants to line up two breadboards. Not everyone wants to rip off the power rails. I know you can absolutely do that, and there's lots of ways around it. But I feel like if the board's going to be really useful, it needs to be able to plug into any size breadboard. I mean, proper breadboard, not the little tiny ones, but a proper breadboard. So that was my aim. So I've actually done that. I did that the other day when I smacked myself over the head and thought, what are you doing about stopping? And so I jumped back on and I pushed through and I relayed out the board, and it looks really good. Like, I'm very happy with it. It's I've got some dimensions on there, as you can see. Hey Gary, thanks for joining. So I've got everything laid out as close as I can get it. I mean, there's a tiny little bit of room to move on the edges. I could technically get a bit more room here, but it's not much. We were talking about 0.5 millimeter really to get, and I don't want to get too close to the pads. So I've got the pads in, I've got them all aligned. It's I did a test print of this. Actually, I didn't. I left it in the other room, but I intend to do a print of this one again anyway after I've done some changes, and lined it up with the Lowland 32. My board's a little bit longer than the Lowland. The Lowland is, let's have a look. It's about 57. So the camera's upside down. I don't know if you can see that. Let's call it 58 millimeters. Mine's 64 at the moment, because obviously I've got the power jack at the back, which is taking up a little bit of length. And also I'm using 0805 passives everywhere with one 1206. So, the WeMOS is using, I don't know, there's definitely some 0603 and possibly even some smaller things on there. So they've got a lot more space to work with than I don't, which that's fine. For this round, I'm comfortable leaving it with the passives of this size. Choice but no longer available. Oh, interesting. So did you get some resolution about that, Greg, did you? About the Lowland? Because I'm pretty sure that the Lowland is, well, they might have pulled the light, but the version I've got is definitely to the spec that their schematic is on their website. It definitely doesn't break out 5 volts. But interesting, no longer available. Okay. Yeah, I've got a light, but I definitely just wanted to, because the light's using a different ESP32 package and stuff. I wanted to make sure. I mean, the Lowland for me, the Lowland 32 was the reference board that I was going to go from. Interestingly, Adafruit's version of their Hazard 32 uses a different package. It looks the same, but there's a slim package apparently. I've actually got the reference data sheet. I was looking through all of their stuff, and I couldn't find any reference on their website to the slim version, but they've got a couple of different model numbers, and I'm sure that there's, you know, something internally that Adafruit would have access to that maybe someone like myself wouldn't, because their feather is obviously slightly narrower than this is, and I always wonder. I don't actually have one of their feather Hazards, but let me just go grab the feather. So that's Adafruit's feather. So they have to fit their form factor, and as you can see, that absolutely does not fit. It's actually touching the pin headers. So they've got some slim package, and I would have loved to have seen access to that, but yeah, I couldn't find them anywhere. So I just have to use the same as what everyone else is using, which is cool. So I got it all working, I got it all laid out, and then you know, on my last stream I was discussing, I'll use that term loosely, about all the capacitors that are on here and all the decoupling and filtering that it's doing and everything else, and the light is the deal spacing breadboard. Okay, cool. I'll have a look at his mailbag. Thanks very much, Greg. I'm definitely interested. I mean, I've got a light. I'm definitely interested to find out more about what's going on with them. So I started doing a lot of research, actually trying to really learn and understand how the filtering works and where I really need caps and what they're going to be used for. And I've definitely got too many passives in here, and I don't need them all. And rather than umming and ahhing about them, I'm actually going to make some changes now. And I've written myself a list, because a list is a great way to get stuff done. So I'm just gonna. This is my list here. I've got it off view right now, sitting behind my webcams. But there's quite a few things I want to do, but I'm happy for you guys to be able to see it. So a first change I want to make is, I think I've got the setup for the diodes wrong. I've got it filtering through the caps before they go through the diodes, and I think that's just the wrong way to go. So I'm going to change that. So I'm actually going to just start working and talking as I'm going. If I can, but I'm going to do the talking less and the working more, if that makes sense. So C3 we're going to get rid of. Let's actually go to schematic view first. There's just a whole bunch of filtering we don't need. So I need to find C3, which is power, C10. It'd be nice if you could delete them from the actual wow, where's C3? That's C3, okay. Did I? Wait, I think I got the wrong number. Sorry, C10 I want to get rid of. Okay, try that again. Okay, so C10 is going. Because right now I'm filtering both sets of power. Oop. Yeah, it's fine. And we don't need to filter both sets of power. That just doesn't make any sense. I'm doubling up the filtering before they're going through the diodes and then into the polyfuse, and that doesn't make any sense. So this is my diode. I don't want to rip everything up. There's no way I'm going to rip everything up. That's my diode for the power coming in. Hey Antonin, thanks for joining. I've got to stop spinning it. See myself in circles. I'm just going to leave it there just for now. And then I'm going to use a 16 width trace. I'm going to go straight to the diode. Okay, so I've got two diodes, and then I'm going to join those together. I'm going to join those together with a 32 width trace. I'm going to keep my power line quite beefy. Oops. Which schematics did you use as reference? I had a hard time figuring out exactly which I/O pins I could use in these without screwing up the boot mode. So I used a lot of reference. I used SparkFun's reference, which is they're using a different package. They're not using the full package. This one. I used the Wemos Lowland 32 reference. I used Adafruit's Huzzah reference, and I used the Espressif reference that's in their documentation. And interestingly, there's a lot of differences. There's a lot of similarities between them all, except for Espressif's. There's a whole bunch of caps and other things that on Espressif's design. If you look at their peripheral design, peripheral schematics here, like some of the values they use, bigger, for some of their caps, very different to what everyone else is using, which kind of concerns me a little bit. And for instance, on their boot pin for a switch option, they don't have a cap for filtering, but they absolutely do on their reset, which is interesting because we were speaking on Saturday night about whether I needed these caps on the switches over here, and the reference design absolutely has a cap on the reset switch, but not on a boot switch. So yeah, I've been using lots of different reference, and there's a lot of conflict between them all, which has made it an interesting challenge. Okay, so now after the diodes, I'm going to go straight into, oops, didn't mean to remove this one. Okay, I'm going to go straight, I'll do some rearrange later, straight into the filtering. Sorry, I'm going to go straight into the resistor. So interestingly, I had a 1K resistor, but I put it after the polyfuse, and I'm not going to now. I'm going to put it straight away before the two filtering caps. And I'm also going to make it a 400, probably 470K resistor. I'm going to lift it. I want it to be beefy. So this is the resistor here. I'm going to make it 470. Just going to move this V-bus out the way. Move the polyfuse out the way. Learned a lot about polyfuses last night, which is pretty cool. Oh, Eagle. How I love thee. I'm using the standard version of Eagle. It's a paid version, but it's the standard license, which means you can't move things outside the bottom origin, which is this point here. So you can't place anything below or to the left of it. Very, very frustrating. It makes it hard just to move stuff out of the way. Yeah, Adafruit's reference, Leo, is definitely my go-to first point of call for pretty much everything. You know that they've just taken the time to put things together well. Well, that's my assumption anyway. Okay, so I'm now going to place this resistor, and I'm going to try to bring everything just back a bit so I've got space. Okay, good. Still on 32. Right. So I'm going to make a few changes. I've named some of these differently to allow me to specify how I was going to hook them up, and now I need to fix that. So that's R12. Now 12 is here. So it's VBus, but I've actually called this VBus in. So I need to change the name of this, or I just need to change the name of the other one. The diode's going out. So let's go grab the diodes. There's 2 diodes. I moved some stuff around this morning, being clever, and then I now going to regret it. That should just be VBus now. Yes, and I need to find the other diode. So yeah, that should just be VBus. Okay, which is just broken probably. Yep, some of these, that's okay. VBus. Now I can go to VBus. Okay, so that's my resistor. So straight to the resistor, then to the filtering caps, then to the polyfuse. Okay, we're going to do our big cap first. I hope I'm leaving enough space. I can always rearrange it. It's getting quite close to that pad there. Slither of ground plane between all traces, really. Yeah, you can tweak forever, and I do tweak forever, and I'm going to do my best today not to, because at some point you just got to finalize your design and go for it. Okay, so they're still all got VBus, USB, some different names on them, so I need to fix those. Oh. Okay, so they are C11 and C9. C11 and C9, as you can see, I've still got VBus USB on that, so I need to change those names. Right, I need to move them actually over to here, is the problem. So delete that, delete that. I'm going to move our diode down, and I'm going to rejoin them in again. With the Eagle, you often have to be careful to make sure that your connections have happened. Sometimes it shows you've got a connection, but you can't connect the traces. And that's just because it hasn't actually connected like you think it has. If I sold any more kits, I've sold 17 kits so far. It's gone into a bit of a dry spell, but to be fair, I've not even announced them yet, which is interesting. You know, the whole fear of failing, what's if I announce them and no one buys them? Yeah, there's a bit of that there. So, any bricking issues with using chips these days, even from the official suppliers? No bricking that I've heard about, although lots of people complaining about Mac USB timing driver issues with FTDI chips, which I only learnt about the other day, which is a bit distressing. I don't really want to have to face that. So, but I'm going to go with the FTDI anyway, and see how we go. Hey, Brian. Cool. Brian is here. Brian did an awesome stream yesterday. I got to tell you, if you haven't seen it, you need to go have a look. It's on YouTube now. He did it on Twitch. He streams on Twitch. Hang on. Got to get my orientation right. But he got one of these 64 by 32 panels. Got it on without sound. Cool. So he has no idea what I'm saying right now. He got one of those 64 by 32 pixel LED P3 panels, and he got it all working with an ESP32 and it was really cool. So why is my polyfuse change color? Did I accidentally push it to the wrong? Is that on the back now? Yep, I mirrored it by accident. Whoops. Thanks, Chris. And so yeah, and it was really good. And then it got picked up by a lot of people on Twitter, was it Make and Hackster IO and some other places, and yeah, so go check out it was a long stream, and it was a challenge for him to actually get it working, which is fair enough because it wasn't an easy thing, but they're great panels. He did a really good job. Okay, I just need to change some of the names here, so I need to find my polyfuse, which is, no, that's not my polyfuse. Where's my polyfuse? Here's my polyfuse. Right, so VBus in, I need to rename that to VBus as well. So I can hook them up together. Here we go. Now I can connect here, and I can connect here. So what I've got now, as you can see, just to go over this again really quickly. Oh, thanks for the link. Oh, no, I thought that was a link to your stream. Thank you for linking my Tindy. Yes, my Neo 7 segment displays are on Tindy. I've been meaning to put together a video, like a presentation video. Hey, check them out, this is how they work, this is what they're used for, and I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. And so I was kind of waiting before I announced, so thanks. Thanks for jumping the gun, everyone. Nah, it's cool. So, I've got my power coming in here. I'm pointing at my screen, that's really silly. Here, for the jack, and I've got my USB power coming here, and both are going straight into a couple of Schottky diodes, so that way there is no chance of them backfeeding power into each other. Then they're going out into a 470k resistor, and they're going straight into a 10 microfarad cap and then a 0.1 microfarad cap for the filtering. And that's about as close as I can really get them to the power source, but that's okay because the important part with filtering is getting your high frequency caps as close as you can to your ICs. Right, that's key. The power filtering basically can be, I mean, you want it to get as close as you can to your power source, but it doesn't have to be exactly on your power source. You just want it closer to your power source than you want it to the ICs. So this is about as close. I mean, I can get it maybe a fraction closer. Well, actually, I might have to get it a fraction closer just because I think I'm going to be on top of the USB. And I won't be able to get the connector in, which is be a real shame. Okay. Let's just fix this. Okay, so this is power. This one, you don't really need to worry about the diode voltage drop on the USB bus since everything else runs on 3 volt anyway. No, the FTDI takes VBus in, so it takes 5 volts in as well. So everything else runs at 3.3, and there is 3.3 going into the FTDI, but there's also this VCC line. So there's definitely 5 volts coming in to the FTDI, but it's filtered. So at that point, okay. So I got to remember where everything else was. So C6 was another cap that I had in line before it went into the 3.3 voltage regulator. So I'm not going to, well, what I need to do is join up. I'm going to go back to using a 16 trace. Whoops. Just for the moment, I'm going to join this up so I don't forget where it's going. But I've got this C6 right now, so let's look at my list. What do I got about C6? Remove C6. So the 3.3 volt, 3.3 regulator is an IC. Technically, it could use, you know, there's no harm in putting some filtering next to it, but putting a 10 UF is too low. Like I'm better putting a 1 or a 0.1, but it's just being filtered. So I really don't think we need this cap. So I'm going to get rid of C6. So to find C6, which is going to the power voltage regulator, C8, C1, C7, C6. We're going to say bye C6. See you later. Nice knowing you. That's not going to join the FTDI. I wouldn't have thought. Yeah, I didn't. I was thinking of using a CH340. I mean, they're becoming pretty standard now because of all the Chinese boards that are using them. but I just couldn't make myself do it. Just so many driver issues, especially on a Mac. Okay, so let's get this. I'm just going to move. Okay. Yep. Okay. So I want that, and I want that. I'm going to be mindful of not having to redesign the board too much, because I could spend 5 hours here redesigning the board, and that's going to really be a waste of everyone's time. I was going to grab both of these. I'm going to move them over just to get them closer, if I can. Okay, I'm just going to get it there. Okay. Okay, so that's VBus there. And the chips are more proven. They're more proven for sure, but they're also quite expensive. Okay. Right, so I'm just going to save that. Before I continue, let's just start moving some things off this list. So remove the diodes, power sources, filter on them, just one set of decoupling caps, remove C10. Yeah, move the resistor before the polyfuse, make resistor for... Okay, so I've done all that. Cool. I removed C6. Okay, C2. Have I still got C2 on here? Where is C2? C2's up here. Okay, C2, that's fine. I'll get that in a second. C3 and C5. So C3 and C5 are the ones that I was discussing the other day, which are the two filtering ones that come... I'm refiltering VBus, which is my 5 volts, which has just come out of the polyfuse. So it's filtered here, comes out of the polyfuse, goes into the voltage regulator, passes through the voltage regulator, and I'm refiltering it again before I go into the ferrite bead, which then goes into the FTDI chip. So I definitely want to filter it before it goes in the FTDI chip, but I just need a 0.1 microfarad cap. I don't use a Mac. Whoa! Oh. CP2012, Trent, is interesting, because that's, I think Adafruit are using the 2014, maybe? Or something. Yeah, apparently that range is being discontinued. So, or potentially, or something. I didn't want to start using a chip that I might not be able to get access to anymore. I know Adafruit are using those on all their boards, and they're quite common. And I'm sure they've got a million of them sitting in stock. But if you check out DigiKey's website, they're marked as not for new projects. Okay, C3 and C5. Hey Michael. Brew can install a good driver. Never had problems on my Mac. I actually bought, I can't remember what it was. I bought a CH340 driver. First time I bought a driver for a Mac. I was just having lots of problems with just some of the various Chinese boards I had, and so I just caved and bought one. So I want to keep C3, and I'm going to get rid of C5. So let's just do that. C3 and C5. So C5 is going to go because we don't need a 10 UF filtering at this point. I think it's an absolute waste of time. But we should definitely keep the 0.1. Always want to filter any power going into an IC. Does not hurt. Oops. Just clean that up. Okay, great. So that leaves us with one cap here. So one cap, and then we have the ferrite bead. Ooh. Okay. I'm trying to be careful to keep all of my VBus lines to 16. Okay, just need to clean some of this up. So this VBus now, it's coming straight into here. Oh, that's a bit ugly. Okay, I'll just do that for now. I'll clean it up later. yes. Thanks for the heads up. Scary about what? 2012. How many small on the V-bus after the voltage regulator? I'm not so good with the analog thing, but I guess it should be a small cap directly on the V regulator output. Not on the output, on inputs. So it's going from the... So you're talking about the V-bus line. So the V-bus, yeah, it's going into the regulator, and then it's going out of the regulator here and straight into another cap and ferrite bead before it goes into the FTDI. That's the last place that V-bus, the 5 volts, going into. And I'll clean all this up and get them a bit closer together. So there's no more V-bus being exposed anywhere else. Now that's interesting. I've got those back to front. I'm glad I caught that one. I've got my V-bus coming out of the polyfuse on the wrong end. So it's going in through the fuse. I need this to come through this way. To here. It's a bit messy with the rearrange. Okay. I got taught that I can go rip up at semicolon and get rid of the ground planes. So excited. Okay. So we're going into the polyfuse. We're going out of the polyfuse to a pin here, V-bus, it's exposed, 5 volts, and we're coming back around. A little messy, but I'll clean it all up. Do you plan to switch to an ESP for your matrix project? I don't plan to right now, because my matrix project, apart from software, is done working. I built that board. It's a photon, it's fast, it's got full web. But I might look at doing a project in the future where I get multiple boards and see if I can join up quite a few of them. I think that would be an interesting project, and I'd probably do that, but I'd rather do that with an ESP32, not for a 8266, so I need to see if that's a possibility. Okay, let's just keep quickly going. So the 3.3 out goes into some caps, which is cool. So we need to, I'm just going to move some of these up. I'm trying to make some space here, if I can. Okay, so we go out 3.3. Where I'm going to squeeze them in. I feel like I should maybe leave them where they were. I'm a bit short on space right now. So I can definitely get rid of this, oops, get rid of this ground wire, because, or at least, let me put that back, at least move it out of the way for the moment. See if I can get some of this stuff out of the way. Oh, don't you love it how Eagle leave all these trace bits behind? That's frustrating. Okay, I'm just gonna rip that. Okay. If I miss anything on chat, I apologize. I'm just trying to stay focused doing this. Will the GPIOs be exposed? What do you mean by GPIOs be exposed? Or how many? Sorry, all of them. Oh, well, I mean quite a few, as you can see. Yeah, I mean these are all reserved. I mean these could be programmed as GPIOs, but by default they're reserved for other things like I2S buses and all sorts of other things, I believe. But anything that's by default just a GPIO or a, you know, whether an analog or a digital, I've already got exposed. I've got I2C exposed. I've got SPI exposed, which are also just digital pins. So I think 32 is an NC. I exposed everything I could. Originally I wasn't going to, but yeah, as you can see, there's quite a lot of headers there. Plus I've exposed 5 volts. I've got 3.3 volts on this side with the ground. I've got 5 volts with this side on the ground, and I've got a 3.3 up the top as well. I'm just trying to get through this quicker. Don't worry about the chat for a bit. Yeah. So I just want to make sure I don't make a mess of this, because that would be really frustrating if I make a mess at this late stage. I definitely need to move this over. Oops. I need space. And everything so nicely, neatly laid out. It's going to be devastating to have to do all that again, maybe. So I'm sorry about having the ground plane come in like this, but I need to. I can't get rid of the rat's nest lines going everywhere unless I do click the rat's nest button. And oops. Actually, what I might do, I'll quickly put this in. I'm going to delete the ground planes, I think, for now. Wow, why is that going all funky here? There must be something left over. Okay, just bear with me a sec. I'm going to delete the ground planes. So I've got, so I can keep hitting the rat's nest button and not have that craziness show. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, see, it's going a bit funny there. Weird. Okay. Now I should be able to go through the middle here. There we go. Let's get that a bit closer if I can. Okay. So has that left me some room for my caps? Let's hope so. Because I want to get the filtering really up close. There we go. Oh. Quick tip, you can help speed things up while routing. You can scroll the mouse wheel while hovering over the drop down list at the top. I mean, for the sizes. Yeah, no I can't. Not on a Mac you can't. Maybe on Windows you can. But see this? I'm scrolling up and down right now and it's not changing it. Very annoying. As soon as I hover, it selects it. Yeah, I know you've mentioned that to me before, but yeah, it doesn't work on the Mac. Maybe it's a Windows only feature. Okay, I need to... Am I? What's my sub count, Brian? I have to admit, I often look, but I haven't actually looked today because I had to get up for the stream. Come on. Wow, almost 400. That is really cool. That is great. Thank you all who have subbed. Thanks to all my new subscribers. Okay. That is so messy. But that's okay just for now. We're just going to do this for now. 12. Ah, it's another, see that? So I hit 12, and as I move out, it changes back sometimes. Okay. 398. Wow, I lost one. Okay, that's fine, that happens. Oh, cold coffee. Okay, so that is really ugly routing, I have to say. but I just need to make sure everything's connected. Let's just go there instead. So, might move those. I'll leave that there. So these two here, that's just a resistor and an LED, just so I can see power is coming through on the 3.3 volt line. And I feel like it's such a waste having it, but I'm going to keep it because I like little flashy lights, you know. Having visual feedback on the board is important, even though it drains a bit of power. But I'm going to move them because it doesn't make any sense to have them so far away. So let's just get them over here. I mean, ideally, if I can get the board length a little bit shorter, that'd be great. We don't need, just need 10 for these. And let's go back to 16. I think I'm using 12 going into the FTDI, so let's just put that together there. Okay, cool. So, again, yeah, I need to make some space, but, so, what have we got? We've got V-bus coming in to the, oops, I've lost a trace coming in from the resistor, which is not good. There we go. So we're going straight into 100k resistor for the enable hookup, and V-bus in and V-bus out, and then we've got, whoops, what happened to my 3.3 volts? Got so excited and lost it. Oh, I rotated it, that's why. Okay, try that again. Okay, 3.3, so we go straight from the voltage regulator into two more filtering caps. We've got a 10 microfarad and then a 1 microfarad. Should that be a 0.1? I don't know, I'll look into that. Just don't add copper fill there. Although I wouldn't do the antenna cutout if that's a thing still. Why wouldn't you do that? Just don't add copper. What, don't have this cut out on top? Why not? Go double-sided. Yeah, no, I'm not doing double-sided. Very hard to reflow in a toaster oven when you've got double-sided surface mount parts. Let me tell you, that's a struggle. I don't think I'm up for that challenge. Okay. So, let's just go back to this list. So what have I done? So I've removed, I think C2 is gone now. So you want to maybe make it a UF. Right, okay. So C2 is gone. We kept C3, but we got rid of C5. Was it that, or was it the other way around? One of those two. I kept one, I got one. Got rid of one. Which one did we keep? There's C3, so we kept C3. Okay. So C5's gone, and we've got C3 still. Cool. We're making progress. Got a gap in the PCB. Yeah, I don't see what the problem is with cutting a gap in the PCB. The ears could break off, and isn't necessary. Not sure it's. Or sure, there's the issue of they could break. Although I don't know, 1.6 mil fiberglass PCB, pretty tough. Very hard to break, unless you're really trying. Okay. Still have the copper restrict under the antenna, but yeah, I don't think the PCB itself will detune it too much. It's not really yeah, I don't know. It's not that I was worried about the RF specifically, but yeah, I don't know exactly what the deal is, but I've seen a lot of boards do it. I'm just going to put a ground back in here before I forget. I'll actually put one over here. Do I need one there? No, I don't need one there. That's fine. Yeah, I won't add copper under there anyway. Okay, so a couple more things I just want to quickly do. I've got a pull-down resistor that's connected to this pin here, which is A13135. So this is the it's a sense pin that also it lets you know your battery voltage if you've got a battery connected. And I'm not, because I don't have any batteries on this or no LiPo charging, it's kind of pointless. And I thought originally that I need to pull it down, but all the reference I've seen everywhere, including just the general docs, just shows it not being like just empty. So you can leave it empty. So I'm just going to get rid of that because we just don't need it. It's just a passive for no reason and a long trace for no reason. So that was R3, which is this one here. So that's going. It's another one gone. Yay! I'm saving so many cents. Okay, which means this trace here gone, which is nice. Just less stuff hanging around. Cool. So that's gone. This list is getting shorter. Move C1 and maybe make it that C1. So C1. Okay. So up top here, I've got this cap. And although it's not coming in, so it really should be filtered coming in, but I can't really filter it coming in because I can't stick a cap where the package is. And the 3.3 volts at this point is, although it's a long trace, is coming straight out of the filtering. So what I did was I stuck a cap here anyway on the outside, because it's better than nothing, but it's a 10 UF cap, and which is the wrong. It's filtering on the wrong level. It needs to be a smaller one. Ditch the ears too. That chip antenna PCB really. Okay, I might get rid of the ears. We'll see. I don't know. So I'm going to keep the C1, but I'm going to change it to be a smaller value, which I can just do here, because I think it's wrong. I'm going to make it a 0.1 UF cap. I could be wrong there, but that's what I think I should be doing. If you didn't, you could run a trace to the cap. Sure. No, I couldn't. Even if I don't cut it out here, there's still an antenna sitting there. Keep the trace on the underside, bring the cap up. Right, but that's basically what I've got here. I don't understand how. Either way, if I'm pushing a trace to the other side, I'm still going to have a cap that's sitting on the wrong side. Or are you talking about pushing it through to the back here to the cap and then pushing it back to the front and then coming in? Yeah, I don't want to put a cap on the other side of the board. Definitely want to do double-sided. I would use ESP32 on everything, but it's still not quite dropped in price enough yet compared to the... Sure, but they're very different beasts, Electron Ash. The ESP8266, as great as it is, and it is really great, it's pretty much software everything. It's like it doesn't have hardware I2C, it doesn't have, like it's all software PWM, I believe. Very big differences between the two packages. A relatively large cap next to the VCC pin on the ESP modules, as the peak current while transmitting can be quite high. Just the VCC pin. So you're talking about, well, this is the only VCC pin. So you say that should be a 10 cap? A 10 microfarad cap? That's what I had. Unfortunately, there's no real reference to it here. So if you look at VCC, well, they do the double cap thing going out, but I've already got that coming in. So they've got a 10 and a 1. Okay, I could always put that back. But they've got it coming in. So it's still the same problem. There's really, I've got no space to have it coming in unless I put it to the other side. So I was looking at the wrong way around. You're filtering it at the pin and into the ESP, so you think your current load is good. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this as it is now. I think it's the right way to go. B32 dev kit port is 100 UF. Really? Wow. You can have issues with setting if the cap isn't large enough. Well, on the, as I said, they're using a 10 and a 0.1 for filtering coming in. If you can see here, if that's big enough for everyone to see. This is their reference design. The expressive reference design. That's what they say that you need. And I've already filtered my power twice at this point. So this extra cap was really just a potential, preventative, one last final stand. So I'm going to go with this. I'm going to see what happens. I could always change my board if it doesn't work. You can always take it off and put a bigger cap at that point. Okay, so okay, yeah, good. Oops. So yeah, okay. Data sheet specs C4 as 0.1. Right. Okay. So yeah, that's interesting. So on the reset line, where's the reset line? Gotta find it. Gone too far. They've got a different, the caps they're using on their reset. Right here, sorry, I was right there already. They're using a 0.1 microfarad cap on their enable line, which is the reset line, which in our case is going to a switch. So they're pulling it through a cap. But everyone else that I've seen is using a 1 microfarad, and I guess a 0.1 and a 1, whatever. But I thought that was interesting that everyone had designed a different value into their boards than what Expressive have. The footprint first, otherwise I'll have to pay for it. Well, all my stuff's 0805 anyway, Dave Darko. So, and I've already got all my caps. I've got stacks of stuff, so I don't need to be buying any passives for this. Okay, so that's good. That's done. So the polyfuse. I just want to quickly talk about the polyfuse. It's an interesting thing. I'm a bit concerned. So the polyfuse that I've ordered, which will be hopefully here this week or early next week, it's got an 8 volt max trip level. So anything above 8 volts is going to trip it, which is fine, but I'm worried it's too low. So all the other ones that I found in the product range were, 16 volts, 24 volts, 30 volts, 60 volts. I'm assuming that that the 5 to 8 volt leeway is what I need. I mean, there's no, excuse me. There's no point having a fuse that's rated so high that it never trips. But I'm kind of just worried a little bit about the polyfuse I'm using. But I figured my worst case scenario is if for whatever reason the polyfuse isn't working or it's tripping, I could always just remove it and bridge those 2 pads and remove the polyfuse for the time being. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, guys, keep chatting. All good. I'm going to keep doing this. Okay, so polyfuse, that's fine. I think, apart from the fact that it's all pretty ugly, that they're the changes I wanted to make. Oh, the other thing I was going to do, right, C2. I'm getting rid of C2. I do not need a cap, I don't believe, on this. They don't have one in the reference design for pin 0. So something that's interesting is I've got no debounce on the button, and no other reference board I've seen, or reference board design, like the Huzzah 32, the SparkFun stuff, even the Wemos Lowland, there are no debouncers on any of the buttons. And I don't understand that. Like, why isn't everyone debouncing their buttons in hardware? It's not like you have a choice of doing it in software. So that's a bit of a worry. But no one's doing it. None of the, like even all the, just the standard feathers for their reset buttons. As you can see here, no debounce. Freaks me out a little bit. So C2, I'm going to get rid of C2. Okay, cool. So it's giving us a bit more space. So the question, oops. The question now is, assuming that this is all in, once I put my ground planes in, and I don't have any issues with air wires, it comes down to whether I want to squeeze everything together now to make it more compact and make the board a bit smaller, a bit shorter. Whether I think that's a good use of my time and your time, or whether I just knuckle down. I don't know how long we've been going for. About an hour. Okay, not too bad. It's going a bit faster than I thought. Debouncing, are they not? The 10K. No, they're not debouncing. So the 10K is a pull-up to make sure that the reset and the GPIOs are high, because they need to be low for them to kick in. So they're just pulling up. And the cap is in this position, not a debounce. The cap has to be part of the data line to debounce, doesn't it? Debounce a button because you also have inputs on the same pins. Yeah, okay. I guess that makes sense. Tabletronics, hello! Yeah. That's definitely not in a debounce format. I'm not even sure why it's, like, I don't understand the logic behind it being there. But it's in the reference design and everyone else is using it. I'll just make a reset again until it's stable. Sure. Well, and the reset and the pin 0 have to work in harmony as well. And there's I think there's a switching time thing. If you look here, this is SparkFun's information. They go through how that all works, the different states. I mean, some of these other ones I'm not using, that's fine. But basically, this is the pin 0 and the reset and how they work, and what states they both need to be in to go into bootloader or into run mode or reset mode. Does on the reset still take care of most of the bounce though? Switch the parent threshold more slowly. Yeah, okay. Okay, so it's a debounce on reset. Fine, cool, awesome, good to know. It's just a different, I guess, a different configuration than what I've seen debounce before. But yeah, I guess that it will cause a delay, which is an effective leader to bounce. Okay, cool. So I feel like I've got some room to clean some of this up now, and I think I'm just going to quickly do some quick tidying, because I wish this would stick when I click on it. Okay. Come off on the right angle, please. Wow. I just want to get this nice squiggly, oops, I'll go the other way. Come on. Okay. Fix. Okay. Go. These can go. I wish YouTube didn't have an issue with music. I could just have some music playing in the background. It'd be really cool. Oops. Didn't realise I was covering the chat. Sorry, guys. Heading home. Good night. Good night. See you later. Oh. Hi, Daddy. Cool videos from Flynn Rosenblum. Oh, he's a classic. Hi, Flinny. Hope you have a good day at school today. Okay. A cheaper blues module style. Okay, cool. So I need to, yeah, I've got some space issues here. Okay, ground is going to kind of almost squeeze through there. I feel that's just a bit close. Come on, get up. Haven't given myself a lot of room to stick a ground plane in there. See if I can squeeze a via in. Someone asked me about the size of my vias. I think there are 23 mil. Yeah, that's not going to fit. Need some more space. I really feel like I want to pull some of this up now. I'm just gonna sit and play with some things for a bit. I really don't like that, how that's going. Let's rotate these around. Oops. Should really turn some of these layers off. Just bear with me a second. Making things hard for myself. So let's get rid of the values, the names, and the place. No. Yeah. Just so I can make some more space. Once again. Oh, I see that every time. 12. Stick. It just doesn't stick sometimes. Okay. Okay. So what else? There's not a lot of space for ground in there. How can I rearrange these to give myself more space? Because I feel like I can. I like having everything kind of in rows and uniform. I think it's kind of nice, but on, Eagle. I love you, but stop doing silly things. Okay. So I can definitely move these over. Definitely move them over. Looks like some blue. Okay. I'm just, sorry folks, I'm just ignoring the chat. If there's something you want me to respond to, just ping my name so I can see it come up in orange or yellow or whatever the color is. And I'll reply. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep at this because I feel like this is kind of important. Okay, 16. Okay, so now that is plenty of room for my ground to pop through and to come around. You can never have too many ground wires. Okay. So this is all looking fairly good. Much more space than I had before. And I feel like I'd love to squeeze it up, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm okay with the length of the board. Let's turn the back off for the moment. Names and values. Okay. Another killer. Please, we'll get that sorted soon. Okay, so I think it's time to put a ground plane back in. You guys think I should get rid of this? Oh, but I like how pretty it looks. Let's do a quick vote, everyone, if you're listening, for those of you that are listening. Do I fill in this top antenna area or do I leave it with their little bunny ears? I wish there was a poll option. Is there a poll option in YouTube? That'd be cool if there was a poll option. I'm going to wait. So you got a few minutes to decide. Someone can keep tally. Do I keep the little bunny ears or do I get rid of them? Do I fill all this in? In the meantime, I'm going to put the ground plane back on. Let's make it nice and big. So, ground. And let's do back one. What type of power connector is on there for the plus 5 volts? It's a 2.1mm barrel jack. I'll actually show you because that's actually something else that's interesting, which I'll need to ground. So it's actually in my pocket. Oh, my hands are frozen. It's actually quite cold in here. I didn't realize how cold my hands were until I've just tried pulling this out. So I've got a, it's a breadboard friendly 2.1mm jack. Now let me just plug it into the board so you can see. Oops, what am I doing? Did I bend it? I hope I didn't bend it. It's just like a 2.1mm jack. So that's going down the bottom here. The problem is that where I've positioned it, it actually hangs over the edge quite a lot, which is by design for me, because the idea is that this board actually sits, so here's my nightlight. The board sits in here, and I want the power jack to be at the side so I can get to it, but I still want to have some, you know, I want the board sitting inside with a, you know, at least a few mils. So it actually hangs over this top section of it, which you can hopefully see. which is about 3 mil, I believe. Let me just check it. Make sure it's zeroed. Yeah, about 3.5 mil. That actually hangs over the edge of the board. And that's by design. So I'm not expecting everyone to use this jack, but it's definitely what I want it for. Restrict the ground plane, fill it in, no copper. Can't publish. Add slots to be able to break it out. No, I'm not filling it in just so I can break it out. Thanks, Rob. Okay, so before I do that, let's just have a look. I want to make sure that I've got everything working okay. So I can already see here I've got an issue with ground. Let's go DRC check. Spark fun check. So I've got a few air wires I need to fix. Which let's get to. Yeah, I don't like how they do this. So these are both V-bus. I could just rename them. So it thinks they're not connected, and they actually are connected. They're connected through components. So V-bus is coming all the way through here and around and down. So that's the in point through the power and coming down out of the 3.3, but it thinks they're not connected. Because they're technically, they're not. They're going through the voltage regulator. So I don't like errors like that. I find that quite frustrating. I know I can approve them, so I should just approve of that one, actually. And I think it's, okay, so that ground is different. I need to make space for the ground. And, okay, that one there's the same problem. So I'm just going to approve that one. These are Eagle libraries with connectors. Oi, Savaloy. Oi, Savaloy. I have no idea what that means. Hi, David. Has your stream finished? I hope you had a good stream. I'm really sorry we clashed streams. Got a clearance issue. Okay, so let's start fixing just some of these things up. Get them out of the way. Come on. Okay, so clearance issue is gone. So all these dimension ones I don't worry about. They're all things like this. Just keep off areas and stuff. It's just part of the package on the USB. So I'm not too worried about that. And the same with these overlaps. And there's a drill size. Yeah, so there I should just get rid of those. It's just these air wires. So there's definitely a ground issue here. And because I moved that, I need to reapprove that. I'm binging live streams tonight. Yeah, it's a what day is it today? Wednesday. It's a Tuesday night. Okay, cool. So I need to make some space for ground, and I could probably do that quite easily. Oh, not really. Do I have enough room to stick a ground here? Let's find out, shall we? I think I do. Ah, so that's the problem. Okay, our problem here is that my V-bus trace is getting too close. Let me see if I can fix that. I want that to be, if I come down more. Come on. Okay. So that's ground connected, but that's pretty small. That's a small area. Not overly happy with that. But what I could do is if I flip the resistors and the two caps around, stuff is, it's a genuine illness. Yep. So it was a slow, decent descent into madness at the end. What were you saying? Meaning, hello, mate. Oh, okay. Oi, oi, Savaloy. Never heard of it. So cool. Hello. I'm looking forward to watching it, David. I like your streams. They're fun. Just don't know how I'm going to be able to get, without potentially pulling something to the back plane. I don't really want to do that. That's a really tentative, tiny ground connection. I mean, it's a ground connection. Okay, let's switch these around. I'm going to do it. It'll allow me to put the ground on the other side and make much more space for ground. Let's get it. That's fine. Okay. So I'm going to flip that one. Flip that one. And flip that one. Ooh, that's a bit ugly. What's that doing there? And now all my grounds are on the same side. So I've got a lot of ground coverage there. I think that's going to be my best option right now. That's not a nice position, but I'll live with that for the moment. Okay, what's your routing grid set to, by the way? I am on 25 and 1. I normally work 50 and 25, but I'm finding 25 and 1 better for this at the moment. But yeah, Eagle's just doing some weird things sometimes where its default angles it should be taking, it's just not taking very well. It's a bit annoying. A football chant. Cool. I subbed today. If that means, Julian, you subbed to me, thank you. Awesome. I've been a big fan of yours for a long time. You're the very first mailbag video I ever watched. Ever. Was one of yours. And you got me hooked instantly. And I binged watched all of your mailbag playlist for like weeks. It was insane. I loved it. I learned so much about electronics from you, just from your mailbags, just because you'd go through and you'd show on where you got them from on eBay. There's an Alice. Oh, I can't remember Alice's name. And then it's 25 mil. I've got it to 25 mil, and I've got my alt set to 1 mil just for now. But I normally set it to 50 and 25. So 50 here and 25 here. But right now, yeah, I'm doing 25 and 1 just because it's I want to be super accurate in my moving stuff around. So yeah, I'm just going to turn off the these names again just for the moment because they're annoying, just so I can see in here. But that's, yeah, that's pretty tight. I'm gonna have some fun putting that together, but it's working. 3.25 mil grid for most things, which is also why I spend too long on things. Sure, the smaller the grid, the more time you're going to sit there tweaking it, moving it one. We have an expression here, the like a gnat stick, the width of a gnat stick. A gnat is a tiny little bug, and I'm sure they may have a penis or not, I don't know. And if they did, the width of them would be pretty small. So that's, yeah, that's an, don't know if it's an expression other people have heard. Okay, so let's fix this top. Let's get rid of the ground planes again. Of course, I'm gonna have to get rid of it because if I can work out where they were. Because you want me to not include this bunny ears. So let's fix the bunny ears, shall we? Let's just fill it in. I feel so bad. Took me ages to get these angles right. Ages. Where's my dimension? Dimension, okay. Wow, that's ugly. Oh, eagle. You're killing me. Okay, yes, it looks bad, I know. I go to properties and I set it to 0 width. Okay, and now, click that one, that one, that one. And now I have a nice round board. Is everyone happy? Yeah? Yeah, okay, a bee's dick, yep. Okay, it just doesn't look as nice. Like okay, that's fine. So, let's do this ground plane thing, shall we? Get rid of that again. Hopefully this is the last time I do a ground plane. Let's start it up here. Help if I'm on the right layer. Okay. Wow, why is it so thick? Go away. Okay. Do the bottom one first, that's fine. So, can the ground stay everywhere on the... No, I probably shouldn't, should it? Okay. So I don't know exactly... Actually. Probably don't even want... So let's just do... Okay, what do you think of that, everyone? Chat, on-screen live chat is different to this chat? Shouldn't be. Yeah, I get confused sometimes with the restriction layers, and I'm also worried that they don't export properly sometimes. So, yeah, there's the live, and then there's the top chat. It always defaults to top chat, which is really frustrating. You can rip up the ground plane, by the way. Yes, I know. Tabletronics showed me how to do that. Very exciting. I never knew I could do that till the other day. Wow, what a time saver. And I should have done that before, yeah, I know. Okay, so I think this looks okay. So I'm just gonna... Okay, let's set these both to ground. Ground, and blue one. Okay, so now, I don't know if that's restricted enough, and the ground plane equal on both sides of the antenna. Well, the only reason I've even got the ground plane sticking up here is because I've got this ground on the cap. I don't even know if it's needed. To rip up the ground plane, you go rip up, you type up rip up at and semicolon and hit enter and it's gone. But it's not gone, it just turns it off. How cool is that? Because every time you hit the rat's nest button, it refills it in again, and then you don't want it filled in, and it's really frustrating. So yeah, that's how that works. And Tabletronics posted that to me on one of my comments, or on a comment on one of my videos. Such a time saver. Okay. Oh, can I also do that, can I? So if I click up the rip up and I click on the... You sure? Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Look at all these new things we're learning. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Nice. Okay. So check ground. Okay, so oh, got all my air wires back again. Let me go through and just need to check these. Oh right, because I just got rid of my. Let's try that again. So why is ground not working now? Because I've given no space. So ground was working just a minute ago and now it's not. I wonder if it's something to do with the thickness. Because the ground actually looks different now. It looks less detailed. What's if can I right click on it? maybe if I make it thinner, well, so what does that do? Right, it does. How interesting. So I didn't know that. So the thickness of the ground tabs, as you can see here, is based on the thickness of the poly line. So because, I mean, I just normally have whatever my default is for the poly line, but because I was on 32 and I built my poly line for the ground plane then on 32, it wasn't joining the ground planes anymore. I button, you can enable the isolate thing from the ground pause. I'm learning too much today. Overload, information overload. Interesting. Okay, so I want to put those back to, I think, 8. I think 8 is a good value, and 8 and 8. Woohoo! 400 subs. It'd be awesome if I get to 400. Okay, so I'm back to a couple of ones that I've approved. Location between the ground polys and the stuff is set in the DRC option. As soon as you apply the rules and hit apply and redraw, it'll update. Okay, cool. Good to know. Thank you. So this is passing all my checks, all my DRC checks. So what does everyone think? I might want to move this down just to get it the same. If you end up watching the stream soon, you'll get to see my new tooth. How did that go? Obviously I'll get to see on the stream, but cool. I hope it looks shiny. Did you get a gold tooth? Is it gold? Did you get your logo? Get like, Watts! Come on, Watts! It's in your tooth. Kind of like shaving it in your head, but it's more permanent. Should be evil. Unsub temporarily. Go on, unsub. I don't mind. Whatever. Okay. I think this is good. I'm gonna go with. I can't see anything glaringly wrong. Ground. Everything's hooked up. Everything's working. I feel my design before was much neater in its layout, but this is okay. Everything is as close as I need to get it. I could probably get these closer to the IC, but I just don't think it's worth it. I got a donkey's tooth. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Okay, just gotta smile like this now. Don't smile. Okay, check ground is good. Check board, everything's good. Fill up names, values. Okay, just need to quickly make sure that everything is readable now with my positions of stuff. Because I rearranged a lot of things. Yeah, I've got a lot of overlapping labels now, and that's really annoying. Oh god, this is what a mess. Let's see if I can quickly fix some of this stuff up. It's 10K, C4. I feel like I've got some room that I can fix some of these. Did you add any resistor between the UART transistor and the ESP32? The UART, what do you mean the UART transistor? The FTGI. Please explain, Electron Ash. Need an explanation. Yeah. And some 100R resistor should help prevent the USB ground loop pull up thing from damaging. Woohoo! 400 subs! Thanks everyone. That's exciting. Yeah, I'm not sure where you want me to put it though. Like, I'm not quite sure I understand. Oh. You know what? I probably don't need this label. The two from the UI chip to the control reset. Right, okay. So, yeah, here I've got 10K, 2 here. So they're my two transistors that are doing the auto reset, and I've got a 10K resistor on each side. So if that's what you meant, yeah, there's that loop there. They're in for sure. So I just wanted to say, Julian, if you can hear, very excited to see you working on some surface mount stuff. Finally. Very, very excited. Just saying. It's probably a bit close, but whatever. That's fine. Okay, I just want to make sure that I can read my labels when I'm putting stuff together. I know what is what. I really don't need this here. Okay. And I don't even need the jumper thing. Let's smash that. Don't need a jumper label. Gotta find the center of it. Okay. Don't need to know that those header pins are JP3. Okay. Possibly show the schematic again for a second. I absolutely can. That's the setup for the transistor. SMD challenge, yes. Let's honestly Julian do the SMD challenge. No, Julian, I took a lot of humor, a lot of joy watching you on your foot pump video with your syringe idea. Can't you just get a plunger like everyone else? Like a syringe and a plunger? That's kind of how they work, right? I love that you're trying to solve these challenges yourself, but that was pretty funny, I have to say. I was torn between what the hell are you doing and oh my god, that is hilarious. Cool. Who did you order them from? JLC PCB? I think you mentioned using JLC PCB. Yeah, I love PCB day, PCB delivery day. Like when DHL rings the door. Oh, I don't know. There's something awesome about getting custom PCBs delivered. It's great. Anyway, what am I looking at? Electron Ash, what did you want to see? Which part of the schematic is worrying you? So this is taken directly off SparkFun's ESP thingy board. There was just no way I was coming up with the smarts on this. See where you have the connections directly from the UI through the transistors, then to the ESP pins. Well, that's this here, yeah. Yeah, what about it? So these are coming from the FTDI, and that's the reset pin, or the enable pin, and that's the GPI 0, pin 0. What about them? I think there's a slight design fault on design since they can drive the IO too high and pass leakage currents, noise from the USB. Okay. There might be. I don't know. I mean, this is exactly how WeMOS do it. Is exactly how SparkFun's. This is SparkFun's, as I said, and it's pretty much identical to how Adafruit are doing it, except they're not using the MBT, like a twin transistor. They're just using individual transistors. Yeah, Chris has got a good video on his on the SMD challenge on his website. So go check it out, everyone. Chris Cochran is the channel. I haven't made myself do the challenge. I reckon I'll make an absolute mess of it. Some cheap 3cc syringes, so it seems to work well. I got to decide if I'm going to order stencils today, interestingly. Okay, well, if there's an issue with it, I guess I'll discover it. But all I can really do, like, I don't know how I'd solve that. So I'm just going to go with this design for now. This is what everyone else is using. But thanks for bringing it up, for letting me know. Something to look out for when I put them together. Something from AliExpress was a local. Okay, so I think I've got everything not overlapping anymore, which is nice. So I can kind of see them all. So I know where everything is, mostly. Oh, yeah, mostly. Cool. Oh. Oops. Do you want to... No, that one. Okay. Oh, it's 3-volt label. Okay. So this 3.3 volt label was actually just a label that I had next to the LED to know that that LED was symbolizing the 3.3 volts, but I might just get rid of that. I just don't know if that's needed. Just add some resistance between the transistor collectors. Okay. Okay, well, it's something to keep in mind if I need to redesign the board. I'm sure this will not be my final design. Something's going to fail on it. Okay, folks, I think we are ready to export. I've got a whole bunch of warnings here for my ARC stuff, but I don't think there's anything to worry about. I've gone through them a couple of times. Link please, Chris. Yeah, come on, Chris. Post your website, your YouTube channel. Please share. What was I doing? Sorry. Distraction again. I'm just going to do one last check. Dimensions fine, drill site overlap. Okay, no errors. Everything looks fine. So, I am going to export. And let's talk about this cam stuff. So, in Eagle, in the new version of Eagle, I'm using 8.71. I think in 8.7 was, or something around that time, they introduced their new cam processor, which supports the new Gerber X2 or whatever it's called, which is the first time the Gerber format has been updated since 87, I think, 1987, something like that. Give Chris Cochran the power of the blue spanner. Oh, okay, sure. Except I gotta find him in a list. There you are. Whoops. One can see me doing this live. Add as moderator. There we go. Chris, post away. Post. Oh, I think Brian got through it already. There you go. Anyway, so they got the Gerber, the new Gerber format, which is fantastic, and the preview and everything is great. Except, guess what? No one supports it yet. JLC PCB don't support it yet, and PCBWay don't support it yet, which are the two manufacturers I use. So that really sucks. So what I use is the old legacy stuff, but I've got my own version of it. Whoa, what happened then? Right, here we go. So this is using the old format, and unfortunately when you load the old format, it doesn't give you any previews, which is very frustrating. I really like the previews with the new format. So one of the things I just want to quickly show you I did. I'm just going to go grab the window from over here. It's my Visual Studio Code. So this is my cam file. So I found that it's just all text-based, which is really nice. But the default legacy Gerber exporter doesn't, for instance, have things like names and values in the silk. And so the first few times I got boards made, I got the boards back and they had no values on them, or they had no names of any of the components. Oops, covering up my chat window. Which means I didn't know where to place anything. And it was like wasted boards. I kept having to go back to a piece of paper I printed out to work out where everything was. So oh, is that the SMD challenge link, Chris? I hope it is. If it is, cool. Everyone should grab one and we should do it. So what I did was I grabbed the file and I kind of worked out how it all works. And so if I go to my silk layer, what I was able to do was, if I can find it, come on, where are you? 27. Here we go. So here's the top silk layer, is you can just add whatever layers you want inside here. So it only had layer 21, which was the place. So I've added 25 and 27, and now those names and values will also appear. So unfortunately you can't modify these in the editor, in the CAM processor. The support for the old legacy stuff is only to load it and use it. Meshing the components yet, so you can move the silk to in. Yeah, I just did that now. I just went through all of that. I got everything kind of where I want it to be. As nice as I can get it, I think. I'm pretty happy with it. So we are going to export, and then I'm going to quickly check the Gerbers. Unfortunately, every time I go back into this view, it forgets my settings and I have to go and do it again each time. Dropbox, Eagle Good, Xeon Gerber. Cool. Okay, so we're going to export to the project directory. I won't zip them yet, I'm just going to export them. Process the job. The other thing I did actually, because it was missing, was I added an extra dimensions layer, which turns out to be a GM1 file. Oh, I should have done open folder, that was stupid. I'll just do it again. Open the folder. Oh. Okay. So the first thing I want to do, which I always do, is I create a new folder, call it Gerbers. The reason I'm going through all this also is because someone, I can't remember who it was, asked me on one of my other videos in the comments to do a video on how to export stuff. So I thought I'd wrap all this in together. So I'm just going to grab all my Gerber files. Drill, I think that's all of it, and stick it in the Gerbers folder. That looks right, they're all just backup files. Okay, so here's my Gerbers. Where's Brian going? Does Brian say he's going? Gotta go to bed, folks. Okay, thanks Brian, thanks for stopping by. Have a good sleep. So KiCad, which I've got installed, which I mentioned before, has a really good Gerber viewer. So I can now go to this, so all my different layers, and if I click on them, oh, it's gone on the wrong window, but here we come. It's very slow, but as you can see here, these are all of my, whoa, what's that unexpected maker? Is on the wrong layer. It's in, oh, that shouldn't even be there. Whoops. Where'd that come from? I don't recall putting that there. Okay, whoops, let's do that again. That's annoying. Okay. Actually, the other thing I need to check is that my back one has got my back things in there as well. Let's actually quickly, before I export again, let's quickly check that. So this one here, which is the back. It looks like it's got the back and the front together. That looks really weird. Okay, that's a bit of a worry. Revision number on the silk screen. I do on the back, yes, on the back layer. Just to show you here. Sorry, that's the back. Oh, look at that. It also doesn't fit anymore. That was close. Let's move this around, shall we? It's calling it my ESP32 Nightlight dev board. Unexpectedbackup.com, and this revision number. And I haven't put logos or open hardware stuff yet or anything. I will. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this will not be my final board design. Pretty positive actually about that. So yeah, they're on there. I just don't understand why. And the other thing I've got is I've put some other labels on the back for whatever the pin number is, the GPIO number. So like for instance, this is these are my I2C ports here, but they're also GPIO 22 and 23, and like 5, 18 and 19 for the SPI. So I've got those on the back. I thought that was a nice touch, maybe. So the question is, why, when I export it, is it not putting the right things in the right layers? So let's have a look. Open cam file. Really nice if I remember the last folder I was on. So top copper has got top pads and vias, bottom copper, top silk has got top place, top names, top values. Bottom silk has got just the place. So I probably want to have values and names in there as well, I think. Values and names, but let's find out what layer is this on. Oops, didn't click the right thing. Right, it's selecting the trace instead. Right, so that's in place. Okay, it's in place, so it should come up anyway. Right, so that should be fine. I have 4 hours sleep left. Want to do first to grab my Arduino. Bye, Dave Darko. Have a good 4 hours sleep. Good luck with customs. Hope you have no issues. Okay, they're all in the place anyway, so they're fine. So they're going to appear. So then I don't understand. So these should be fine. Oh no, but I should re-export them because I moved them. Okay. Let's just re-export them again. Okay, open cam file. I think I'm seriously going to have to put the heater on in a moment. It is getting so cold in here, my fingers are turning purple. Seriously. How white do my hands look? Okay. Oh, look at that. It's still got old file names in there. Anyway. Okay, I'm going to export this version as a zip so I can put it directly in here and unzip it again. Okay, let's just delete those. Let's unzip it. Hello. Why can't I where's my extract here? Am I losing my mind? lost my extract here. Wow. Okay. Bizarre. So let's try that again. Top layer. Okay, that looks better. There's no more label in there. Okay, it might be a bit hard to see, I know, it's the way it draws it. Oops. And it's KiCad being really slow on the Mac. But they actually that looks pretty good. And let's just check the bottom layer, because that looked funky before. That's better. So my pin labels and that. Okay, which is good. So I think these Gerbers are good. I think we're going to just check is it GM1, GPI? Yep. Okay, I think it's time to open up JLC PCB website, because I'm going to order through them, I think. Just got to find where it was. Bear with me a second. I was logged in. Probably won't be logged in anymore. That's okay though. Straight into here. If I can. Oh, there we go. Pop. Logged in. Okay, so delved into the scripting. Oh, come on. Okay, let's go for this. So, how big is my board? Don't save. 65 by 26. Okay, the value's already in there. Close enough. 10, 2 layers. Yep, let's go for it. Add my Gerber files. That's interesting. Can't remember where they are. Uploading. Oh, look at that. Can everyone see that? I have no idea. I can't see my own stream anymore. Ray PCB, not heard of them. That looks awesome. Let's go to the Gerber viewer just to see what it looks like. Solder mask, silk screen, copper. That looks really cool. Oh, that turns them on and off. Okay, that's clever. Cool. So that's the back. Yeah, I'm going to pay the extra money to get them faster. I don't think I'm going to want to wait 3 weeks. That looks pretty good. Top. That looks great. Super happy with that. Analysis results. I never clicked on that before. Success. The file is skipped. Can't be recognized. We'll ignore the files, Gerber 1, G1. Okay. That's fine. So, let's do this. 2 layers, dimension 10. So the price on 10 and 5 is exactly the same. And I'm definitely doing green boards for $2.60, because if I go black, check out the price difference, an extra $20 on 10 boards. Guys, I'm turning my heater on. I'm freezing, I'm shivering. If I can work out how to do it. I'm just gonna, yeah. I'm seriously shivering in here. It's on quiet mode though, so hopefully you won't be able to hear it. Yeah, like, you know what? I know I haven't made it as a YouTube content creator until JLC PCB come to me and say, hey, would you like to promote our product? Yeah, the GPI, the DRD, but also my GM1 layer and stuff. Yeah, it's all fine. It looks correct. No, I'm not going to penalize them because what for? What do I need? This board's gonna fail. I'm pretty sure. I have no idea what the temperature is in here, but I just stuck my heater on to 25 degrees. Like, I'm wearing a top and a t-shirt, and my fingers are absolutely, I can't move them. So I don't have a thermometer. Maybe someone can build me an ESP32 thermometer thingy, something. I always do black. I love black PCBs, but in this case, for the sake of $20, I'm just going to do these. So the reason I'm not penalising it in this case is because it's the same price if I order 5 or 10. It's still $2.60. Shipping's the same. And if I penalise it, I might be able to get 20 boards for the same price, but I don't need 20 boards. There is no way this is going to be the final design. No way. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. That's why I'm not penalising them. If that makes sense. Oh my god, I'm shivering now. So the question is, do I do a stencil? Do I do a stencil? I'm probably going to feel a whole lot safer doing a stencil. So I might click stencil. They're not expensive. It's an extra $9. Yes, Jake. That was my jokey point, that I could probably go and just grab a sensor from somewhere and build one and find out what the temperature is quite easily. But I'm not going to right now. Okay, so quantity sensor 1, extra polishing, no, customized size. No, I'm just going to let them send me a massive one. I don't want a massive one, but what's the shipping cost? I've been using Seed. So Seed is very interesting. Their pricing is pretty good at the higher quantities anyway, and the shipping's pretty good. But I found the shipping from JLC PCB to be the cheapest for DHL from me to Australia. It's about $9 cheaper than PCBWay. Seed's pretty good. Yeah. So total price. We're gonna save it to cart. We're gonna do it. I think we're going to do it. I think I'm going to do it. Let's go. Save to cart. What are you sending me one? You're going to send me a David? Is that to me? You're going to send me a thermometer so I can tell how cold I am right now? Okay, so actually that's 5 cents. Degrees, any temp. Oh, thank you. Okay. Check out securely. We're doing it. We're going to order it. Go. Hopefully it's not going to ask me for my credit card details. I can't remember. Is it PayPal? I can do PayPal. I'm going to have to do this offline. I'm just going to move this over here, folks. Hope you don't mind. But, doing the whole logging in. Okay, wait. Just before I do, though, let's just go back here. So shipping. So $18.86 for shipping. Arrives in 3 to 4 days. I mean, that's what I pay here in Australia, unfortunately, to ship with DHL. But PCBWay for the same thing is $25, I believe. $25 or $27 for the same DHL. So that's not too bad. And registered mail is only $6 cheaper, but 15 to 20 days. Okay, so I'm going to move this off to the... Oh, everyone can see my address. Whoops. Wow. Everyone knows my address now. Come on, Watts. Give me a serve about what I just did. Go on. There you go. Thank you. Whoops. I'll have to edit that out somehow. I don't know how I'm going to edit that out. That's Australian dollars. That should be, that's actually, I'm on Australian dollar currency right now. I'm sorry, I'm doing it off screen, but sometimes they show it in US. I'll be able to tell you in a second, actually. Whatever it is, I don't care. I'm paying it. I'm doing it right now. Dave, go to sleep. Yeah, I know I can penalise for free, but I don't need 20 boards, Dave Darko. This board is not going to be my final board. I really don't think so. Okay, I'm just logging into PayPal. Hopefully no one can see my keyboard right now in the views. Move it off so no one can see me typing my password. Okay. Yes, you're already sleeping. Not now. Okay. Right, so it's 27 US dollars all up, which is a lot of money in Australian dollars. Continue. I lived in the UK for a year. I lived in in London. I did it. I've done it. Let me just check there's no bad information on here. Cool. I'm done. I've ordered the boards, everyone. So it's going to work out. So what's 27? So hang on. Let me just let's do a rough. Going to do a rough calculation. So as I'm going to go so 20, let's call it $28 US is going to cost me $36. So that's 10 boards. So that's $3.60 a board. That's okay. Yeah, I'm doing a I didn't realize my address was going to come up, so yeah, what can I tell you? So there you go. So that just cost me $36 for those 10 boards. And if you consider that the parts alone for the boards, enough for 10 boards anyway, it's cost me about 50 bucks. That's okay. I don't mind that. That's cool. Excuse me. Finishing on a high. Yeah, absolutely. Look at that. I got the board done, guys. I got it done, and it's gone into JLC PCB to get delivered. That's exciting. The issue I'm going to have now is, what do I do in the meantime while I'm waiting? Do I start designing version 2 before I even get version 1? I'm kind of impatient that way. Does the UK accept foreigners now that they've exited? Yeah, the UK was nice. I enjoyed my time living in the UK. It was pretty good. It's the first time I'd ever been snowed on walking down the street. That was kind of weird. But I like living in Australia. I don't like how far away we are cost-wise to everything, but it's a beautiful place to live. I think everyone should come and live in Australia. It's great. We have the best spiders and snakes and crocodiles. Okay, wow. 2 hours. I honestly didn't think I was going to get it done, but I did. So here's my checklist. Make the names, include, forget anything, blah, 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 order, done. Everything, done. That's my whole list, done. Woohoo!
Just home from work. Hi Blitz City. Hope you had a good day at work, and thank you. Yes, it's exciting. The board is done, finished, off for manufacturing. Yes, let's not do politics on the stream, people. I don't mind what you talk about, but let's not do politics. You'll do some layout tweaks just after ordering. Yeah, I might. I think for me so I do have plans for this particular development board beyond the first one. I'm gonna build one, obviously once I get it. But I'd like to do two things to the board. I want to get it smaller. I want to get it like in terms of height vertically. And so part of that is just cleaning up some of this. But the other thing is I've never worked with anything smaller than 0805. At least on my own projects anyway. I mean, I've had to solder 0603s before for other things. I'm going to move some of these components over to 0603. I think. At least, maybe just all the caps and the resistors, maybe. So I can, practice working smaller, and also get the board a bit smaller and make a bit more space and stuff like that. So I think that if I need to do a second revision of the board, I mean, I guess if this board works, and I'm doubtful, but if the board works first time, then I've got myself a bunch of ESP32s, and I probably won't refine this board yet. I'll probably move on to what's next for the Nightlight project, which will be redesigning this board specifically for the Nightlight project. And I want to do things like source some like momentary buttons that what are they called? They sit flat, so they're not a button. Oh God, it's not a button that sits on the board like this. They're a button that they're on an angle. They're like on a 90 degree, so they can sit above. They go into the board this way, and you can push them from the top. If that makes sense. There's a name for them. I can't remember what the name is. A spare completed board, or you want a board that you put together yourself to hand solder? I don't know. I might. If they work, I might. Well, right now I've only got 3 ESP32s. Oops. So that's a limitation for me. I've got more already on the way. They're not cheap. I mean, component-wise, these boards are going to, probably cost about $25 to $30 each in parts, like including the board. I mean, these ESP32s are, $5 each. The FTDI chips are almost $8 each. But yeah, like if someone wants to, there you go, right-angled buttons. Thank you. I knew there was a name, right-angled. Sleepy time. Bye, Wyker Radio. Sorry if I mispronounced. Thanks for joining. It's awesome. Oh, Dave, I'll hit you up for a link maybe on those buttons. Because, so I want... My ideal scenario is that... I'll just do it here. My ideal scenario is that when the PCB sits inside, and obviously that's the the Wemos Mini 8266, but wherever it sits inside, wherever the top is going to be, I want ideally I want everything attached to the PCB. I don't want to put the PCB in and then have wires going to other things. So I want the power on the PCB exposed to the side. I'd love to have the buttons exposed. I'm going to end up doing a square PCB because I want to be able to, not restrict myself on where I'm going to put everything. I love to solder my own stuff, and wasting money on parts is basically my jam. Sure. Yeah. I'm the same. I'm quite happy to, if you want some boards, I'll send you some boards. If they work, I'll send you a board, no problem. If you want to source your own parts, if there's some parts that I can help you with, then sure. I mean, it's kind of, there are places you can buy the FTDI chips and stuff as one-offs. I'll definitely talk to you about it. once I know if the boards work or not. So yeah, so when I rearrange this, I want to make sure that any of the hardware that I put on there that is externally facing, like any buttons or, for instance, an LDR or anything else, or power jack, USB jack, that they're all actually attached to the board, and it's just a one board that goes in, and all the sides are exposed. That's my plan. So that's why I want to get shoulder buttons. I want to start looking at different shoulder buttons and see what options I've got, and you know, how tall they are, how far away they are from the pins, you know, if I'm going to be able to actually extend them far enough. I'm slowly starting to warm up. I'm still shivering a bit, but my fingers are getting a bit better. Soon I'm going to have to take my top off. It's going to be too hot in here. But because I've also so many parts bought because they're likely to be useful. Yeah, I always buy everything in bulk as well. Like if I need one, I'll buy 10. Because whenever I've needed 2 and I bought 2, I've always needed 3. Whether I've broken one or, you know, and it's I hate having to wait again and again. And the other issue is most of the stuff that I want to order, especially the ICs, they all have to come from overseas. There are not many places in Australia that actually stock some of the rare stuff. Ooh. You don't have to swap me. I want to buy one of your crap clock PCBs. Well, I was hoping you were going to do a kit, and I know that you don't want to. That's fine. But as long as you can put together a bill of materials for it, yeah, I'll definitely want to make one of those. I think they look great, and I want to make a laser cut acrylic case for it. And if I do, and I'll get one working, I might send you one of those as well. We'll definitely do some swappies. Yeah, but look, I'm going to have 10 of these boards if they work. I'm happy to send some out to people if they want to build one. And I'm not quite sure yet I want to go into the whole manufacturing my own ESP32s for sale. I don't think that's definitely worthwhile. But yeah, so I was thinking about the ESP32. Like it's by far the best. In my opinion, it's the best microcontroller chip out there at the moment in terms of versatility. And it's still, I mean, there's a few things that's still falling behind in terms of libraries and stuff. And I know that the M4, the Core M4s and stuff are coming out soon. They're going to be super fast, and there's a lot of new boards on the horizon. But having a chip like this that has got Bluetooth 4, Bluetooth LE, Wi-Fi. I mean, it's only 2.4 gigahertz, but Wi-Fi on a package like this is just insane. Like, I've got 20-something SAMD21 microchips and a whole bunch of stuff in my shelf right now. I'm never going to use them anymore. I don't know why I would ever build anything or make anything or use anything that isn't ESP32 or whatever the next derivative is going to be going forward, because I mean, not every project has to be Wi-Fi enabled, but why not just have the versatility of doing whatever you want all the time? So now I don't want bodge wires, Dave. I want the finished thing. I want the. Now, are you actually going to print boards? Are you going to? I know that you fixed those bodge wire stuff. Are you going to get boards made, or are you just going to release the designs? Because I'm happy to get the boards printed as well. I don't mind. Is Dick Smith still going in Oz? Dick Smith, it shut down. It got bought out by JCar, and which is very Dick Smithy. Yeah, but none of those stores are got components at all anymore. Dick Smith stopped selling. You know, I mean, apart from through-hole resistors and caps and stuff. I mean, there's no stores here that does surface mount components anymore. I mean, you know, DigiKey have an Australian thing, like an office, and Element 14 has an Australian office and stuff. They're all in Sydney based, and they stock some stuff, but most of the bigger companies like that, they, you know, when you order something, they still ship it from America. There are some other ones. There's a company here in Melbourne called Rockby, and there's a company in Brisbane called Exxon, who seem to stock quite a few things. So I might start using them some more. But yeah, like there's no place I can get in my car to and drive to and get an ESP32 or a FTDI chip or a, you know, even things like, you know, small package voltage regulators or custom stuff like, you know, like this MBT twin package transistor. There's no place I could drive to in Australia and go and pick one up, I don't believe, or maybe in Brisbane. Definitely nothing in Melbourne, which is frustrating. It's all the electronic stores that used to be here, like the Dick Smiths and stuff. They've all just turned into consumer electronic stores. You know, they've where they used to be a store this big full of electronics, like parts for electronics. Now there is a store this big where this much of the store has got electronics and everything else is just consumer stuff. Don't release it. They didn't buy the name, and they didn't. They bought the customer base, I believe. They bought the mailing list, and they took over some of the stores. I don't know how many they kept open or not. It was actually quite messy. I think it was a lot more detailed than just some of the store sites, because there was a lot of people that, you know, had paid for orders that were never going to get shipped because of the shutdown and stuff, and there was a lot of controversy about whether JCar should honour that and stuff. So I don't know exactly what the legalities were and what they actually paid for and what they didn't, but there's I think they bought the loyalty database as well, but I could be wrong on that. There's a big Aussie DIY store. DIY, you mean like all hardware? Bunnings? Bunnings is probably our biggest, which is like a big hardware store. Yeah, Bunnings, yeah, they're massive, they're great. I love Bunnings. I spend way too much money there. You go there, and if you walk up and down every aisle, it'll literally take you like 3 hours. It's just awesome. I definitely buy way too much stuff there than what I need. It's nice to actually be able to have a chat now and read through the chat and talk to people without feeling the pressure of having to finish something, which is really good. They didn't buy anything? Okay, cool. Good to know. Maybe there was just talk about it. There was a lot of news about it at the time, Greg, when it was all happening. So yeah, it could have just been a yeah. It's like something you shout when you stub your toe in church. Okay. Yeah, it's a weird name. Bunnies. Okay. It's been 2.5 hours. This has been a great fun. Thank you all for coming past. Super glad I got this finished. It's quite a relief, actually. I'm actually excited to start recording my next project today. I feel like I haven't done an actual project for a while. Like, I've been working on this board, I've had, you know, a couple of live streams and some videos and had some mail videos, but I feel like I haven't actually done a single project in a video for a while, and I've got a couple that I've been wanting to do. So I'm going to start on one today, actually, and hopefully I'll be able to get the video out by Friday, and it's really cool. Thanks, Dave. I'm actually quite chuffed for myself as well. There's that fear of failing and procrastination is a really ugly beast for me, and it's quite ugly because I don't realize it's happening until it's happened. And so yeah, that was a real, I had to give myself a real slap in the face on that one when I realized what I'd done, which is why I did that video, because I feel like I really had to take responsibility for that, because that was definitely, it's one of my worst traits. So thanks, Chris. Yeah, it was a tough video to make, and I ummed and ahed. As some of you might know, I ummed and ahed a lot before I thanks, Electron Ash. But yeah, before I released that video, because it was it's quite personal, obviously, and I know it might resonate with a lot of people, but I was really unsure what I wanted to do about that. But I'm glad I did, and it kind of kicked me into gear to get this finished, and I hope that's the last I see of that issue for a while. And I really hope these boards work, because I really want to explore where I can go with this. Maplin. That name's really familiar. Is that no? Is that a UK thing? Overseas thing, Maplin. there was something in the news about Maplin recently. I think about. Were they an electronics store in the UK maybe, or was it in America? Yeah, and you might want to delete the stream recording after. Why do I want to delete the stream recording? Which stream? The other stream, the Saturday night stream? The board is ordered. Yes, the board is ordered. That's excited. Now I gotta wait. Now it's the whole waiting forever. I sit there on the JLC PCB website refreshing the page to see the status update. It's terrible. It's like really, really bad. Maplin went bust recently. UK. Yeah. Okay. I saw something in the news here. I'd never heard of Maplin before that, but apparently they were quite a popular store. It's really hard with retail. There's been chatter about the retail issue for a long time. Won't be the last we see this issue. Yeah, I know. I know it won't be the last, but hopefully, I guess for me, like as I said in my video, I've been a procrastinator my whole life. It's something I'm never going to beat, but I don't want it to appear in my videos. Like I don't want it to appear in my projects and in my interaction with my community. I think I want to, if I'm going to be fighting that, I want to fight it and deal with it outside, like away from everything, and yeah, and make sure that, you know, not pretend it's not happening, but just to, you know, have it happen, recognize it's happened, push on, get my stuff done, and go forward. You know what? Everyone knows my address now. I really don't care. I'm not going to get rid of the stream. Whatever. Send me cookies. You know what? Did I maybe hit 400 subs? What have I got to worry about? Like, I don't think I'm going to get any stalkers. It's fine. If someone wants to come and visit, I'll set up a couch in the office. You can come over and stay and visit for a while. Yeah. The address reveal. What you going to do? I'm going to leave it. I'm quite happy to leave this video stream up. Anyway, I think you've all spent way too long watching, and I'd like you all to go to bed if it's bedtime. I actually want to grab something to eat and then sit and watch David's stream. That's yes. Have some laughs. I don't mean that in a bad way, but yeah. The whole doxing thing isn't the worst thing in the world unless people, you know, highly expensive retro collection. What did I miss? What? Marabin, what's this? Thanks, Electron Ash. What's this about Royal Mail? Oh, right, okay, right. Go do some coding, Greg. Thank you all for coming and for watching. David, sorry again if people left your stream to come to mine. I apologize. I don't care if I announced mine or not, and you didn't. That's not the point. You're free to stream whenever you want to, and yeah, it's just a pity we crossed swords. Thumb symbol is looking lonely over there. Maybe give it a click. I'll give yours a click. Absolutely. We'll swap clicks. How's that? But anyway, thank you all. Thank you all for coming. For those of you that didn't get to watch David's stream live or that left it, please go back and finish watching it. And yeah, I'm not going to do the thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. No, I feel terrible every time I say that in my videos. I feel like it's a pitch. I know I have to do it, and you have to do it. You got to remind people to subscribe and to click the like button, because even I forget to do it sometimes when I'm watching stuff. Oh, right, Chris. Okay, well, how about I send you some cash and you can send me some cookies? I want to taste those. I want Dave to send me some of those. I can't even pronounce what they were from your video the other day. That those things that you were eating, they looked awesome. So that was anyway. Okay, bye everyone. I'm just waffling now. Thank you for coming past and for joining, and I look forward to seeing you all again in a future stream, and hopefully you'll like my next video that I'm going to put out. Anyway, Catch you later. Go back and watch. Finish David's stream. Finish David's stream. Oh, Dave, we're gonna stop this. Oh, too much stuff. Seriously. Bye, everyone. I gotta work out how to stop my stream. I should have been prepared for this. Oh well. I've lost my Okay, bye!